Outer Orange.
Today, we are watching some Shadowverse Evolve content. Set 5 just recently dropped. I wanted to show you guys what finals looked like for the Grandprix of 2023 spring. I believe this was in Tokyo, if I recall correctly. I could be mistaken, but it was a pretty big deal. And this last game is actually Aegis into Egg. We're both Havencraft decks. I will say, I personally really respect Aegis. I actually think it's a very, very powerful deck, and actually really respects Egg during this time around. We're gonna kind of see how this matchup plays out. I actually watched this with my boyfriend. That was a really cool match to watch. And this is finals. This is the last two. If you guys like this kind of content, I can do it also on other gameplay like this, because they have other ones too that are going to be bringing out. And actually, I think these are just really cool to watch. I think it's a really good way to see. Now on the left here, we have a very strong hand. We have a Gilmies along with the grade 1 that gives ward. Really good. On the other side, we have Snipes, some explosions, and some Alice. We have the Alice, we have the explosion. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the best Egg starting hand, but it's not terrible either. You can't really do much. Honestly, both ends are not gonna be doing much for a while. The Gilmies is good, but she's kind of like a turn 7 play for both players here. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look and see how they go here. Aegis player did decide to mulligan. Luckily enough, he runs Gilmies, which means he'll be able to shuffle his deck back. So those cards, he'll see them again, type of thing. And that hand is interesting. It's a very, they both mulliganed actually. That hand is a lot better. Aegis definitely got a way, the Egg player got a way stronger hand there. The peon, the setup, I will say our Aegis player definitely got a worser hand. I feel like there's some good spells, but that's all they're really doing. And it will happen. Aegis is a deck that runs a lot, and I mean a lot of spells, so you'll see this happen a lot, but it doesn't change how powerful the deck can be. Anyway, so let's go ahead and see how this starts off. So here they are going in. Our Aegis player is going second. Egg is going first. Egg is passing over back to our Aegis player. Aegis player draws. So here, honestly, there isn't much to do, but they don't really have any draw engines. They don't have the Sacred Please, so you don't really have anything else to do. Now, we did see over we saw the Tome over on the hand side, so the Tome is perfect here. You can discard a card, discard basically anything, and just instantly be able to evolve and swing. Very powerful card. Basically, on evolve, you get to have Bane on it, and then when it dies, you deal 2 damage to your opponent's leader. So very, very powerful card. And in Egg, you don't mind discarding because you're gonna be discarding your whole hand anyway. So here he goes, basically sending it up and passing. It only has rush, so I can't attack him. But going back to our Aegis player, honestly, he's probably gonna pass again. There isn't much for them to play here, and they could play. I think they have a wolf in hand they could play. They also have a spell they can go for, but they only have 2 mana to work with here. So in all honesty, there really isn't much to do this early on. A lot of those spells require you to have like some kind of board presence, and there isn't really much. Now, on the other hand, you don't really want to take 3 damage either. He could theoretically, I think, place something in there, but I actually think he's just gonna pass. So he did think about it a little bit, and then he just passes it over back to our Egg. So our Egg player basically gets some 3 free damage here if he chooses to do so. I would definitely swing. The Aegis has a lot of board removal. You want to get in as much damage as possible. But they're actually going for Andromeda, which also makes sense in case they decide to play any spells, which is a very smart play here. Andromeda basically gives resist. They can't target the cards. Also going for the search here. Here they can grab the hair, the 4-cost hair if they want, which I think is probably what they can go for, which is the Tea Time. Tea Time is a very, very powerful card to grab here. But they have quite a few options. They also grab Alice, but I think they already have an Alice in hand, so I think Tea Time might be the best play here. Sometimes people go for Explosion, or they go for Egg, the actual just the Humpty Dumpty. But I truthfully think Tea Time's the way. You just want to set up. But also another copy of Alice is never a bad thing. So here they're grabbing the Alice here as well. So there we go. Great card, by the way. That little rabbit card is just so good. 2 cost. And Andromeda is just such a nice play calling out that Andromeda early just to deny any potential spells, since our Aegis player did have 2 mana to work with there. So they could have, surefired to kill the book. They could have done a lot of things, but now they basically just got some free damage in and have to work too hard for it. So here we go. Back over to Aegis player. Again, not really too many options. They could basically just drop the Bell Ringer here and pass. I don't know if they run Surefire. Surefire is really good, but also they have the Gilmy spell there. That's kind of like a pseudo Surefire. It's pretty good. Also deals forward, also heals your cards. So it's not too bad. But here they're actually choosing to shoot the book. This is the exact card I was talking about. I think they heal off of it as well. So they should be going back up a point here. But
that's nice.
Anyway, but yeah. So going back over to that. So now Andromeda can just basically do some damage here for free. It's unfortunate that our Aegis player didn't hit any cards to kind of deal with this early aggro here. Usually Egg can't early aggro this hard, but here we do have it. So here we have Alice. Alice on play gets a Fable, and then we're gonna go ahead Revolver, and then off her ability, you can look at top 4 cards and get get any 2 cards that are Fable cards and put them into your EX zone. And the reason I'm explaining this is this is in Japanese, so in case you don't know what the cards do, that's what they do. So if you're grabbing the hair and tin, tin is insane. Tin basically gets you to burn your opponent directly. Very hard to play around this mechanic, and Alice allows you to move any Fable cards encounters over to anywhere. It includes the EX zone, so you can move it to the Tin Soldier. Here we go again, deciding what to do. I'm actually surprised they didn't play the Bell Ringer. They had the Bell Ringer there early. I guess they didn't want to. I don't know if taking early damage like that is a good thing. You don't want to put yourself on a clock against the Tin Soldier, so it's a little risky. But here they are playing the Bell Ringer now. They still have 3 open play points, and very interesting. I guess they're going to evolve it to shoot the Andromeda. That's okay. That's fair. That's fair. Evolving it for the Andromeda shoot is definitely worth it. Here, I feel like I would have almost set that up last turn, but I guess he wanted to hold off to be able to shoot the Andromeda. I don't know, it was a little weird. I think he had the room to do it. I guess he was trying to bluff like the spells or something. I'm not too sure. But anyway, so here we have again a setup. Nothing they could do. They actually have the Dark Offering in hand to say for the Aegis player. They could also kill the Bell Ringer and draw like 3 cards if they're really digging for something. So here we have the Banish card, which actually plays around Bell Ringer. There's just no reason I think the Bell Ringer should have come down a turn earlier. But here we have taking 4 damage, going down to 10, by the way. And FYI, like, our Aegis player hasn't really played much, but on the other hand, like I said, that hand wasn't too crazy. I almost would have went for the Acolyte. So funnily enough, Egg doesn't really get any big dudes from here on out. So Acolyte would have been a really good card to just get rid of that Alice early, so that way they can't recursion it as well. So we'll have another card to kind of go after. Decree is also really good here, just to basically clear the board, is what they're going for. I almost would have went for the Acolyte a turn earlier just to wipe the Alice and then just maybe Decree this turn. Even though it's for 1 unit, it's still better to get that Alice out from the graveyard as soon as possible. But it's okay. I'm not. It just things that I would have done. So here comes the Peon Prince. Peon Prince is going to target the Alice, the same Alice that that just lost, and it does get a Fable on it, and it actually does stack over time. So if Alice comes out from the EX zone, she'll actually have 2 Fables coming out. It's also very powerful because then it makes the Tin Soldier a lot stronger as well. You can choose to evolve the Peon Prince here, but you don't have to. I will say he's a 4/5 right now, and putting him as a 5/6 on eval is better. We also know that Aegis tends to play, Acolytes. Acolyte can also just remove it, which is probably what, again, I would play the Acolyte. Acolyte is just such a great card. Also keep in mind, Aegis for late game, you also need to discard 3, so you don't want to go super heavy. But I'm one of those people where I hate when my opponent has a board, so I would just play for the you don't get a board today. So here's another Bell Ringer coming down, choosing to ward and pass. Very interesting, very different style of play than what I'm used to. Which is, I'm not gonna lie, Egg's board is looking really good over there. I think our Aegis player gave a little bit too much time for Egg to set up, because the way you kill Egg is you just don't give them the time, or you banish their stuff to where they don't have access to key time as easily. Here comes Fina. Fina basically just says you can top 5 for a 1-drop, or you can just kill a 1-drop. It has to be a 1-drop. So that's what happened there. So Bell Ringer basically disappeared. And then choosing to Acolyte the Peon Prince, which is good. That's good. We're getting there. You also heal off of it, and it makes the Peon Prince and the Banish Zone basically, so it's out of the game. So that's also really good. Moving up the Alice here, and then basically moving her Fables over. Probably gonna evolve her, and then go ahead and move those Fables over to the Soldier, and that's Soldier's gonna be big. Yeah, big boy. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think our Aegis player actually runs Ord, and Ord is definitely a good way to kind of remove those Tin Soldiers. But a smart Egg player won't stack all their stacks on 1 Tin Soldier. And FYI, that is a crazy top 4 that we got off of it. We got the hair and we got the Tin Soldier. Notice that you move the Fables over to 1 and not all of them to 1 unit, to 1 Tin Soldier. He split them up, which is very important. Very important to do that. As an Egg player, if you're an Egg player out there learning how to play Egg, you never want to put all your stacks on 1 Tin Soldier, especially if you find more than 1. If you find more than 1, you only have a choice, but if you have 2 in your EX zone, you should definitely be splitting them, because you just never know when they can Ord you. People do sometimes play Ord, and Ord is definitely a card that will just out your Tin Soldier, and if you have like 5 stacks on it, you just lost 10 points of damage. You really want to avoid that. So here we have we're playing the hair, sometimes just to play it. It's a good card to just play just to clear board. We have snipe happening. They're explaining what happened there. Basically, he gave a sail and rush to a card, but it doesn't actually matter. He just played the hair just there. Anyway, so Aegis player basically snipes the Fina. That's why a lot of people run snipes, is to remove cards like Fina. There's actually other cards too that people run the snipes for, especially in the sword matchups. People run the snipes, but Fina is definitely another target because a lot of people play her. Surefire is also another insane card. Surefire basically wipes any 4 body that's an evolve card. If they have 4 defense, Surefire basically nukes all of those, and there's so many good evolves right now, especially in set 5. There's just so many good cards you want to snipe, especially in silence. They have a lot of 4/4/4s. Every single deck you play has some kind of evolve card that will evolve 4/4/4 and just do a lot. I think I missed that part because I got too excited about Surefire. Surefire is just such a good card. And you notice the Aegis player is slowly healing back with all the healing cards. You'll know, and Gilmese is another card that kind of helps heal. So even though the Aegis player lost a lot of early damage, they'll probably be coming back. So here comes the D-Time, a very, very disgusting card. Basically top 5, help any Fable. I think it's 5 or less specifically, but still, it's basically the entire deck. There's no, oh, my cat has come to join. But there's no targets right now. Getting the Peon, which is, by the way, insane. When Egg high rolls, it high rolls. This is a great way to just get Alice back. This is what I brought up about acolyting the Alice early game. I think acolyting the Alice is probably the best play our Aegis player could have done early on. They just probably didn't want the Peon Prince to stick. But honestly, Peon Prince isn't as recursionable as Alice is. Alice, you can keep recursioning over and over with Keep Time. Just a bunch of cards that she moves stacks. Since, like right here, we're about to see 6 damage just come out of nowhere. Like that's just so disgusting. So we're going down to 9 here, which is really, really bad. And by the way, again, like that Alice is about just get more Fables. Getting an Andromeda out here, so basically getting that little presence there. I think he just played just to play it because in actuality, Andromeda doesn't really do much here aside from him not being able to play spells at the end of turn. At the end of phase, but that's basically all the Andromeda was doing there. On the other hand, if you don't have the Humpty Dumpty in hand, then you know you might as well just play her. But keep in mind, Decree's a card. Like I would always be fearful of Decree. Here we have Ord. We're putting Ord. We're playing Ord to put the Peon back into the EX zone. I'm assuming we're gonna nuke the Tin Soldier here. That's what I would nuke. But he might just go after the Peon again. I don't know. Just to not recursion it. I would definitely kill the Tin Soldier. I would 100% move the Tin Soldier out of there. Like you want as little Tin Soldiers as possible. Yeah, get that thing out of there. Get that card out of there. Goodbye, Tin Soldier. The word works on Evolve. You take something from the EX zone and you banish it, and that's basically what happened there. And now we're basically going to kill the Ord and heal and draw here off of Dark Offering. I guess he's the issue here is one thing we haven't seen from the Aegis player. No repost, no Aegis. And we are on an 8 mana play here. We should have already seen it happen. Here is the Gilmese, basically baby Surefire, different Surefire, that also lets you heal. Very, very good card. So he has that's checking his drop there, and then he's going to pass on over. Going back, we're going into a 9 mana play here. Now keep in mind, Egg is stronger the way the game goes. Like this deck just starts popping off like crazy. We have a lot of resources. We have Tea Time, we got Peon, we got Alice, we got the Rabbit to search for another copy of something in the deck. We have so many plays here to go for. You can revive, you can stack Alice. We don't have another tin right now, but we can get the tin off of the Tea Time and then stack him with Alice and just kind of go crazy. He's actually very close to lethal here almost. If he really wants, he can crack Tea Time and get out the Tin Soldier, move up the Alice to get 3 stacks onto a Tin Soldier and hit for 5. And that's a lot. But he's choosing to go for the EX approach zone first just to see what he'll find here. But still, and we'll see if he finds another Tin Soldier. It'd be crazy if he does. So we haven't seen any Freya's either. Freya's another great card to stack with Tin Soldier, and we do see a Freya. Speaking of Freya, there she is. We see at least one copy in there. I think there's actually 2 copies in the top 5. Top 4, sorry. I would double Freya here would actually just be nuts and just a really good way to close out. Like I said, there's a couple of approaches we can go. That's just one of them, and they're going for Freya and Explosion. Explosion is also really good as it deals damage per egg in your drop, including and it only counts itself once. So that's like another card. It just to the entire board's an AOE effect. So so rip here we go, ripping out the Tin Soldier, moving up the stack, and then we're probably gonna take the stack off Alice and move it over to make it 3 stacks, and then deal 6 damage to our Aegis player. Just out of nowhere, just a very casual 6 damage. Aegis is back at 5, so very scary. Keeping in mind, by the way, that our Egg player hasn't taken a single point of damage yet, if I'm not mistaken. Here comes Freya, resting her to again deal 2 more points of damage. So now our Aegis player is at 3. Very scary. I would be sweating right now. I would actually be sweating. That is a big board. He can clear it. There, like Aegis has access to clear these kind of boards, but still, it's so scary. So here we are searching, basically telling our Aegis player like, "Hey, you're on a clock really, really soon here," because he has so many things he can go after. You get another Tea Time, which is exactly what he went for. Revive pin and a pin can basically get a stack. There's so many, and then the Egg Explosion will probably finish it off. Peon Prince can also come out and also finish off the job. We got on 10 mana. There's so many things you can do, especially if you have access to all these cards. And like I said, that board is very, very scary. So yeah. So here he just fixed the board a little bit. So back over. So our Aegis player gotta go wild. John's really good here too. John will clear here, so I think that's what he's going for, is just for a board clear. So Jean does 2 to everything, and then on Evolve does 2 to everything again. So basically She's just gonna clear here. Pretty good card. She also buffs up, I believe, your defense to all of your dudes as well by 2 if you have any dudes to buff up. So here he goes, just basically that. I ain't gonna lie, our egg player should just have game here. Yeah, that's game. Yeah, that's game. Explosion for game. That's crazy. So basically Fable, the Fable Humpty Dumpty, it does 5 to board and then 3 to face, and then you just auto lose off of that. Oh my goodness. And our egg player does win it through a massive burn. Very well played from both players. Very scary. Egg can be scary if you just don't stop its momentum. It's definitely a deck you want to rush down. Aegis is a little slower early on, and that's just sort of just how it is. But that was basically the game. I wanted to show you guys how that is. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed my commentary there. Hope it was enjoyable to listen to. I just kind of wanted to go over that one. I thought it was really cool since it is like, you know, finals. A lot of people really hype up Egg, and I will say Egg is strong. I will say in that context, as we saw, our Aegis player bricked really hard. He never saw repost, never saw Aegis. He never saw the 2 things that makes the deck insane, or Gilmies. Actually, if you go in that exact video, there's a couple clips prior where there's the same player playing Aegis, and in those games he does get to like his like other conditions, other cards that kind of get to the deck moving. But when you're just drawing spells like that, it's really rough. I will say personally, if you're gonna face Egg and you have the option to banish stuff, you should definitely be banishing Alice's and Tin Soldiers and probably nothing else. As nice as it is to get rid of Peon Princes, it is way more versatile for the Egg player to have access to Alice and Tin Soldiers. So I still believe that I think early on with that Acolyte, that Alice should have been a thing to go, and that he should have decreed the other cards, because Peon Prince cannot come back. That card can, once it's dead permanently. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought that was a really interesting performance, even though it was a little one-sided there, but still really cool to watch. Hope you guys like that. But anyway, if you like this kind of content, want more of it, please let me know below if you're interested. I can do other ones too, and I can talk over them like I talked over this one as well below, how you feel about that. On that, guys, peace out. $50.shop for any goodies they may need. Code ORANGE for any cards they may be looking for set 5, or if you're in other card games like Card Fight Vanguard or Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or anything else, he also does stuff for that as well, so stay tuned for that. Code ORANGE for all that stuff. On that, guys, peace out. Das Svidaniya, and I'll see you guys in a future video. Bye!